Young Adult Podcast.
Welcome to podcast 195, you wild animals.
Let's go. 195.
Yeah, this is getting good.
I wonder who's our longest listener to the pod.
Yeah.
Who's been around the longest, you know?
Sure.
Who remembers the days before the 100s?
Well, who remembers the days before COVID? That'd be a good question.
That would be crazy because those podcasts were insane.
Really? Insane?
Some of them didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I would say so. We were trying to find our groove.
Yeah, we're trying to find our groove. But
maybe we're still trying to find our groove.
Maybe we are.
I would say this. The moment we think we found our groove, that's not good.
Yeah, we're changing. We actually got exciting news, I guess, if you want to call it news, announcements.
Yeah, yes.
We just decided right before podcast went live, right before we turned our cameras on.
Yeah.
Because this isn't live.
Nope.
Is that...
It's hard to break news, too, we've noticed.
I know. After the Pistons season is over, we're going to bring in a brand new segment.
Yes, and we've already teased this segment.
And I'm excited about it. We're going to move away from who will win for a little bit.
Yep.
And we got a brand new segment coming in. I'm fired up about it.
It's going to be good. It's going to be entertaining. One of the things that I'm not going to say we. I've never even talked to you about this. This is something that I hold dear, and I want to know if you hold dear too.
Okay.
I like being innovative.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually I regard it as a high quality for my career.
Yeah.
And I want our staff to be innovative. I want to be innovative. I want to push things forward. I want to try new things.
Yeah.
So when I said just a minute ago that the podcast is, I would say, constantly evolving.
Oh yeah,
innovating.
Constantly.
Should I say innovating?
It's constantly evolving, constantly changing. We're always looking for new things. And you know, I'm a big podcaster. I listen to lots of podcasts.
You probably listen to more than I do.
You can ask my wife. I listen to probably like at least 6 podcasts a week.
Yeah, you listen to more than I do.
And I enjoy podcasts that are, tons of my podcasts are like very spiritual, Bible talk, Bible study, pastors. But I always love when there's like 5 to 10 minutes and it's just like kind of pure entertainment. I love that aspect, and yes. I love that aspect of our podcast.
Good.
And so I'm really excited for the next new thing we're going to bring in.
You're going to like it.
Bit.
You're going to like it.
It's going to be fun.
It is. All right, you got your picks?
I got my picks.
All right, well, let's quickly go over the scoreboard here. I am thoroughly in last place, but I am excited and I'm energetic, but I can't catch up. I'm 21-17. I went 2-2 last week. I thought they'd go 3-1.
Preston also went 2-2 last week.
I know. He also predicted 3-1.
And somehow I went 4-0 again.
I don't know how you're doing this.
And I don't know either. I didn't remember what I picked. I thought that I said 3-1. And I had to go back and listen to the last podcast and realize, oh no, I said 2-2.
You are lucky because you went 2-2. They had 2 losses. I think they both were in overtime.
Both were in overtime. Yeah.
All right.
Couldn't believe it.
I'm 21-17. Preston's 25-13, and Pastor Aaron is 31-7. And I'm not sure we're going to catch him, but I do have my picks.
I got my picks.
Who will win?
It's time for the picks.
All right, Preston, get on in here. We're doing our picks.
Preston's coming in for our listeners. He's opening the door.
I'm ending with confidence.
He's ending with confidence.
4-0.
You're going 4-0.
Let's go, baby.
All right. I think they're going 3-1.
All right.
I think they're going 3-1. Preston's getting in here. He's getting in the camera frame.
4-0.
He's going 4-0.
I mean, given the scoreboard and our track record, our guesses are going to be completely wrong, and Aaron's going to be 100% right.
There's another strategy, Pastor Preston, that we could try to catch, which is
do the opposite. That's a bold strategy.
It's the only way we'll catch them.
But oh man,
looking at their games though, there's no way they're going 0-4.
You went 3-1.
I went 3-1.
1-3.
0-4.
Lock it in. Let's go. We're catching you. You made a big mistake, brother. Big mistake.
No way. Sitting on top of that leaderboard.
1-3. 0-4. All right.
There's no way they're losing 4 in a row.
Nope.
Just you wait.
Just you wait. I've never been so excited about 0-4 in my life. Let's go.
All right. There's the picks.
We got to catch you.
This is like insane. I genuinely don't know how I'm winning, but I'm loving it.
Frustrating.
I'm gonna hold on to it as long as I can.
I'm a big basketball fan. I love the Pistons. I've waited so long for them to get back to this point, and now I can't get a read on the team.
I don't know.
All right, whatever. You got your culture clash?
Oh, I got mine.
All right, so do I.
Man, this clashes with my biblical worldview.
Man, that clashes with my biblical worldview.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, go first.
Okay. This culture clash. I don't know when this news dropped, but it was sent to me this morning on Tuesday when we recorded. I'm guessing that's when it dropped.
Yeah, I think so.
I got a text of a article from the Detroit News, and it said this. This is the headline of the article: former Piston Jaden Ivey released by the Bulls after anti-LGBTQ comments.
What were his comments? Do we know?
From the best that I could tell, he was speaking out against Pride Month,
Which is in June, which is
how
coming up.
The NBA really pushes
they do.
Pride Month.
Yeah.
But this is really what I thought was really odd. The Bulls put out a statement saying that they released Ivy for conduct detrimental to the team.
Sure. I don't think they can release him for his comments just about LGBTQ because of, I'm gonna assume he's got some sort of free speech laws on his side.
Right.
But they can release him if, what was it again? Conduct
Detrimental to the team.
Yeah, they can release him as an organization if he has conduct detrimental to the team. Now, typically it's used in like he broke the law.
Right. Yeah.
He's in trouble with the law, the police, something like that.
So
he might have a case on his hands as far as like wrongful termination here.
yeah. So I actually read most of the article that was sent over. There's some of the stuff that I didn't read at the end about like his basketball career. I was like, I don't need to know about his basketball career. But it was interesting realizing that Jaden Ivey is a really strong Christian.
Yeah.
At least has been really bold about it the past maybe year or 2 years maybe. And so they were kind of pulling some other quotes from him, very much proclaiming the gospel, talking about just the Bible and what's right, what's wrong, how to get to heaven, that it's through Jesus, not works. Like he was pretty bold and outspoken, and so I thought this was interesting that this was the comment that Bulls couldn't handle it. Conduct's detrimental to the team. It's like, man, come on.
It's soft.
It is.
It's soft.
Like what, dude? I got some words for the Bulls organization. They're never gonna hear me, but.
I hope they karma gets them for the next decade.
Like, is it? I don't know. There's so many things. This doesn't even make any sense. Why is what he's saying actually affecting the basketball team? No. I doubt it. There's no way that any of the other players on the team are like, oh, dude, I can't play with Jaden Ivey because he posted this on Twitter.
I don't know.
Like, what?
I don't know. I mean,
and if that person is, man, that person's an idiot.
There's been no reports of that. Like, there's been no reports of players on the team coming out and being like, I'm uncomfortable with Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
So you can't assume there's nothing like that, I guess.
But hey, Bulls are saying it's detrimental to the team.
Well, you know what?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Clashes with my biblical worldview, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's frustrating. Oh, man. I got a text this morning, too.
Okay.
I got a text about a Supreme Court rule.
Come on.
Let's see here. I'll read it to you. Breaking news today. This is Tuesday, P.S. The Supreme Court just ruled 8-1 in Childs versus Salazar that Colorado's law banning conversion therapy for sexual orientation or gender identity is unconstitutional. This is good news.
It's great news.
This ruling does not clash with my biblical worldview, but the conversion the outlaw of conversion therapy was against my biblical worldview
Yes.
and was a culture clash for me.
For sure.
Now, why? Well, because being a pastor, I have therapy sessions with people. I have, what did you call it? Not therapy, but
Yeah, we counsel people.
counsel. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we counsel.
I couldn't think of the word.
We
Thank
counsel
you.
people for sure.
Counsel people for sure. And if the Supreme Court would have ruled like in the other direction, then
Yeah.
it would have been against the law for me to try to help a young person or anybody with their gender confusion.
Yeah. Yeah. This one was something I got the same text this morning, and it was really exciting to me because not only do we do this all the time here at church, I mean, I've been on staff, full-time pastor this is going on my 6th year, and I don't know how many counseling sessions I've had with parents, students. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And not only that, but my wife is actually she's a child therapist. That's what she does for her living. And so obviously this law was in effect in Colorado, but as most of us know, kind of California, Colorado, they're kind of two like gateway states for those liberal ideology laws. If they can get past there, they can start working them into other states. And I was like, man, if that law starts coming into Michigan, then not only would it be difficult for me as a pastor or against the law, but also for my wife, who is a therapist who does that for her, like that's her job.
Yeah.
And she's like, man, I'm not going to go do something that goes against what I believe. And so this is a big one.
What's up with the one who it's an 8-1 vote?
I don't know.
I forget who the one was, but if you're listening out there, that one judge who doesn't understand the law or the Constitution, maybe you shouldn't be a Supreme Court judge. Just saying. All right. You ready for some Bible talk?
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm ready.
I love me some Bible talk.
I love me some Bible talk.
All right. Now let's start with some scripture verses.
Okay.
Does that sound good? Now
Let's
you
do
said
it.
you had some scriptures, right?
I do. Yeah.
All right.
I'm pulling
Did
up.
Jesus really rise from the dead?
Come on.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter week, guys. If you're listening to this, release date's Monday, Thursday, right?
Maybe, or should I say Happy Pascha?
All right, you ready?
For the majority of Christians out there. I don't want to blow. I'm going to blow people's minds, I guess. The
Okay.
majority of Christians don't call it Easter. They call it Pascha.
Oh, right. It's true. All right, you ready?
I am more than ready for the Bible talk. Let's go.
Matthew 28, 1 through 9. All right, I didn't have them all wrote out. I just have references.
Okay.
But they're long references. There's lots of them.
All right.
Mark 16, 1 through 8. Luke 24, 1 through 10.
Okay.
John 20, 1 through 2.
I don't know. Why did that one make me laugh? I don't know.
I don't know.
You want me to read John 21 through 2?
Yeah, go ahead. Read that one. That one's the shortest one.
Yeah, exactly.
These are accounts of the first eyewitness of Jesus rising from the dead.
Now, on the first day of the week, this is Sunday, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb early while it was still dark and saw that the stone had been taken away from the tomb. Then she ran and came to Simon Peter and to the other disciples whom Jesus loved and said to them, "They have taken away the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him."
First eyewitness account. It's Mary Magdalene?
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Sure is.
Especially if you think about the first century and the way women were treated. Unfair, pushed down, cast aside.
Their testimony was not even valid in court.
Yeah, explain that.
You could not build a case, a lawsuit, a conviction of someone of murder, theft, and you could not build a case in a Roman court of law on the testimony of a woman.
Wow.
It was against the law.
Here they are, building the case on the testimony of a woman that Jesus has been risen from the dead.
And all four Gospels, by name, mention Mary Magdalene.
All four mention Mary.
They also, I think, two of the other four, that doesn't make sense. Two of the four, there we go.
There you go.
Mention another Mary, and the other two mention or another one mentions Mary and another woman. So
Simone?
there is,
Okay, anyway. It's okay.
there's multiple.
It's clear, though, that the ladies were there.
They were there and they were first.
Yeah, they were there. They were there. I want to try, Pastor Aaron, to prove, maybe in a short segment time that we have, that we could just talk about, did Jesus really rise from the dead?
I love it. Let's do it.
There is a large group of people out there that claim Jesus didn't die on that cross.
Yeah.
That he was placed into the tomb, he was still alive, and then, he kind of came back to and then pushed that stone aside and left. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, listen, all right. There's no credible source to back that up or to prove that. The argument falls apart really, really easily with, let's just say, with one fact. And there's many, many, many.
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
just say this. Why don't I take a spear?
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, and I jam it and shove it into your heart.
Yeah.
From your sides, goes
Yeah.
right up into your heart, and all the blood and water come out of it.
Yeah.
And then you put you in a hole in the ground, and then 3 days later,
No medical attention.
Yeah.
No.
No
there's
food, no water.
No food. No water.
guards
no-
on the front of the tomb
Yeah.
guarding you, but you kind of gather up the strength and the muster yourself up and push aside a big stone
Yeah.
and walk on out. You think you could do that?
No.
No, I don't know. I mean,
No. Not at all.
That would hurt.
Not at all. Also, going along with that, of all the people groups, of all the cultures across the ancient world and what we know of, it is credited to the Romans as perfecting the crucifixion. They knew how to kill somebody.
Yeah. Pontius Pilate told the soldiers, make sure that these three on the crosses are dead
Make sure they're dead.
because the Sabbath is coming and we don't want them up there
Hanging on the Sabbath.
during the weekend.
There is no way that under order of Pontius Pilate, the soldiers who have been trained their entire life to make sure that people are dead somehow missed that Jesus wasn't dead.
Yeah, he was dead. He was definitely dead. And as a matter of fact, man, I'm so excited about my Easter Sunday message.
Okay, I'm excited about it too.
Because didn't I tell you a while ago what I was going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am building the case that Jesus died and arose again on science and Bible history.
Yeah.
It's
you
a
were
really
telling me
good
about
message.
it maybe last week or early this week. And I'm
I started
excited
talking about it. Actually, it was over a month ago. I think I teased it. You might be forgetting.
Okay.
Over a month ago, I was like, I am really excited about putting together my Easter message. And I'm going to do something I've never done before. I bought this book, and I'm doing all this research, and I'm building a case that Jesus truly died and rose from the dead. I'm building a case like an investigative journalist.
I love it.
It's
I
been
love
a
it.
really fun study. I've been really excited. And so let's get into some of this
Let's
stuff.
get into it. And I want to read this quote from C.S. Lewis because I think this is a great quote. And I think it's true. I think it sets up, because one, it's biblical, but I think it sets up why this conversation, why your message on Easter Sunday is so important. C.S. Lewis said this: Christianity, if false, is of no importance. It's a bold statement.
Yeah.
And if true, of infinite importance. The only thing it cannot be is moderate importance.
It's true.
And the Apostle Paul said basically the exact same thing, worded it differently. Same concept, though, in 1 Corinthians 15, where he talks about it. If Christ has not been raised, like if Jesus didn't actually come back from the dead, then we should be pitied more than all people.
Yes, absolutely. The reason is because they were treated so poorly.
Yeah, we're treated terribly.
Yep.
Paul was on the run for his life all the time.
Yeah.
Finally, when they caught him, he was wrongfully accused.
Yeah.
Everybody, even the Roman soldiers were like, yeah, they stirred up a mob because they were jealous.
Wow.
And like they knew it, and yet he was still in prison for years and years, put under house arrest, and eventually history tells us killed under Nero. Like, insane.
Mm-hmm. Everything we say in this podcast, it can be affirmed and confirmed through your own research, your own study. Okay, we are not independent voices building our own cases.
Right.
These are facts that others who are greater than us, scholars who are better than us, have put together and figured out, and we are just repeating what we've read and heard.
Yep.
Now, when it comes to the resurrection of Jesus, there are multiple independent cross-reference accounts.
Yeah.
These are not hard to find. They're not hard to research. There are videos all over YouTube of historians who aren't even Christians reading first century literature that talk about this man named Jesus who was claimed to be alive after he was killed on the cross. That's not even in the Gospels. This is outside literature. These are called cross-references. And there's multiple independent cross-reference accounts. That's pretty wild.
That's crazy wild.
And that's wonderful to hear if you are a historian. Because if you're a historian and you want to tell history, you want to make sure the history you tell is correct. And one of the only ways to make sure history is correct is to make sure you have enough references. But then if you can get cross-references, it legitimizes history even more.
Oh, yeah. And one of the things that I love about these references and so many of these accounts that we have of Jesus, and this would also include the four Gospels, is that they were all written during the period of which the eyewitnesses of Jesus would have still been living.
Yes.
Which gives them more credit, because if I wrote something about, let's just say I wrote something about you, and
hopefully it's good,
and I showed it to a bunch of people who knew you really well, and if it was false, they'd be like, yeah, that's not right. Mm-hmm. That's not what he did.
Yes.
If I was like, hey, Pastor Luke went to Canada a couple weeks ago.
You showed it to my wife?
Yeah, I showed it to your wife and your kids, your dad. They'd be like, no, he was in Mexico.
Yeah.
So it actually gives them more credit that they were written during the period when eyewitnesses would have still been living, because if they would have been incorrect, the other eyewitnesses would have corrected them.
Yes.
And it's crazy. I love this line that we got from another historian, is that even the latest materials for Jesus.
So explain that. Latest material. So let's say he died in AD 33. And then there's material on Jesus in AD 60.
Right.
That would be like maybe the latest material. We're talking 57 years later.
Right.
Or something like that. Whatever. Yeah. We could just decide what we want to say.
Yeah. The latest materials written about Jesus are earlier, this is nuts, than the earliest manuscripts we have for Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, and Buddha.
And there is never an argument that those individuals existed.
Right.
But none of us were eyewitnesses to them.
Correct.
But we believe the history.
Yes.
And we believe that they truly lived.
Yep.
And there's no doubts. Well, it can be the same with Jesus.
That's right.
I'm not an eyewitness to Jesus, but the accounts of him are so close to when he actually lived and walked the earth, that it's more reliable than the sources we have for Buddha, Alexander the Great, and Julius Caesar.
That's insane.
Yes.
And just the fact, like, when I went to school, I remember in school sitting in third grade learning about Alexander the Great. And not a Christian school, my teachers taught me about Alexander the Great and some of his conquests, and there was nobody questioned what they were teaching us. The teachers weren't like, well, you could believe this about him, or you could believe this about him. It's okay. Like, they were like, no, this is Alexander the Great. This is what he did.
Sure.
Like, they taught it to us like fact.
Yeah.
And there's actually more credible sources for Jesus than there is for Alexander the Great, and yet they never taught me about Jesus in school. No,
they didn't. Isn't there 25,000 manuscripts that cross-reference Jesus?
I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but it's an insane number.
I'm going to say 25,000. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. That's okay, but I'm close. I know I am, which is a ton of historical accuracy.
Absolutely.
Ton. There's another reason which really solidifies that this was a real event is because this event doesn't paint the disciples in a good light.
Yep.
During the trial, they all fled.
Yep.
Peter is denying Jesus
Yep.
to girls around the campfire.
Yep.
It's an embarrassment for the disciples. It's an embarrassment for him. The fact that the ladies were the first to the tomb is an embarrassment.
Oh yeah. Then after he was crucified, they were all hiding, like terrified for their life.
Yeah. So these accounts, you would think maybe we if they wanted to twist the truth,
right?
They did it in a terrible way. Now this doesn't make sense. It's like incriminating yourself.
Yeah.
It's like you murdered somebody and you're going to hide them in your house.
Right. It doesn't make any sense. If you're trying to twist this story to make it more believable, they did a terrible job.
They did a terrible job. Then, beyond that, they took this message and with it suffered persecution and some even to death.
Yep.
Now that doesn't add up if it's a lie.
No way.
I'm not going to die for a lie.
Nope. Have you ever heard, I can't remember which guy it was. There's a great quote from one of the guys that was involved in the Watergate scandal.
Okay. You're talking about with Nixon.
Yep. And I think there was 8 guys that were involved in planning the Watergate scandal. And within just a few months, they started breaking under questioning.
Okay.
And because there were certain guys that maybe their involvement wouldn't have put them in prison. And so they started breaking since they didn't want to get in prison.
Yeah.
And this guy later, he became a Christian. He said, the greatest evidence for me that Jesus rose from the dead is because 8 of the world's most highly educated and important men on the planet could not keep a secret for a few months under potentially the pain of prison. And these 11 disciples of Jesus took it with them to their grave that this is what happened. This is what we saw.
Man.
Not a single one changed their story. And he said, and these were fishermen. These were not the elite of the elite. And he's like, there was 8 guys who couldn't keep their story straight, who would break under questioning because they didn't want to go to prison. And these 11 never did when questioned about the resurrection of Jesus.
Wow. It's powerful stuff. So did Jesus really rise from the dead? Maybe we didn't answer everything today. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know why? This is not secret information. Okay, and we're not holding secrets, and you're not prevented from doing your own study, your own research, purchasing your own books, watching your own videos, and I would suggest making sure you get your information from credible resources, not the Discovery Channel, not National Geographic, not something on public TV. They're not credible. Not TikTok. Don't get your information.
Don't get your theology from TikTok.
Yeah. How about getting some of your study done through credible resources? What do I mean by that? Well, let's just see here. Your pastor had a pastor who had a pastor who had a pastor who had a pastor. Find out if the story's changed throughout the years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Find out where his resources came from, and where then his resources came from, and then his resources came from, and then do a deep dive, do some research, watch some stuff on YouTube from credible Christians who have great, what do I want to say, background of study.
Yeah.
They have degrees.
Yeah.
Proper degrees in studying the right information, and find out for yourself.
That's great. I love listening to podcasts like this, being a part of podcasts like this, because it challenges me to do exactly what. So now I want to go research this more. I want to learn more. I want to watch more videos. I want to read more books. I want to just soak all of this in because I think it's incredible. And like both the Apostle Paul 2,000 years ago and C.S. Lewis just a few hundred years ago said, this is of the most importance. If Jesus did rise from the dead, then this message should change your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's been great to be with you, audience. How would you describe this one?
This was hearty, you know? Maybe it's like an Easter meal, you know, a big spiral ham.
Yeah.
And some pierogies.
Ooh.
Some of my favorite Easter food is a just warm potato-filled pierogi.
Sounds like a German influence. Could it be?
Could it be?
Could be.
Who knows?
Catch you at the next one.
Bye.
Youth and Young Adult Podcast. Youth and Young Adult Podcast. Youth and Young Adult Podcast.